My name is Raz Dahari, and this is Islamabad School of Excellence. Today, we are going to start lecture series on essay writing. This is the first lecture, so let us start. Number one, how to write an essay. Students face a lot of problem when it comes to essay writing. They have problem in generating ideas, and they also have problem in then putting them together. So they don't know what to do. And number two, how to write those ideas to form an essay. These are two major problems. During my lectures, I will try to help you work on and improve these two areas so that by the end of these lectures, you are able to write good essays. Now, let us begin. First thing that people have to do in essay writing, that is, number one, choice of subjects. Whenever you are going to write an essay, first thing is select the topic that you are familiar with. The mistake that students make, they select topics which are important. They don't go for ideas or topics which they are familiar with. So the first principle is always go for ideas, topics which you are familiar, you know well about. And after that, you will go for information. You must have some ideas when you are going to write the essay. You should have ideas. And for ideas, number one is read. Read good writers, especially. Read a lot of books. Read good writers. Read essays. If you like English or American writers, I suggest you should read Bertrand Russell and Ariel Durant and Will Durant. Their books are very good, especially their expression is extraordinary. So you can read, you can also read magazines, newspapers, and you will find them very helpful. So read books, read newspapers, read magazines, and try to. In Pakistan, Dawn newspaper, you can read Dawn, the News. There are many other newspapers you can read, English newspapers. And now internationally, all newspapers are available. So every day make your habit to read books, newspapers, magazines, research articles. In this way, you will get a lot of knowledge. And you will also work on your, you will come to know about expression, how English writers, they write. Number two, observe. Look around what is happening. Look at some of the issues, some of the things, such as these days, coronavirus, COVID-19. This pandemic has almost the whole world has been locked down, from Japan to the United States of America, from Wuhan city in China to New York in America. Almost everything, life has come to a standstill. Find out information about it. What is this virus? How it started? What conditions it needs? What are some of the threats that it poses to people? So try to find out, observe what is going on around you in the world. Think. Similarly, when you take topic, don't just get or take material and follow it blindly. It's cut, paste. Don't do cut and paste. Like what students do, they get the information without verifying, without thinking, they just put them into the essays. No, that is not the way. You should think about the topic, about that information that you have got. Think about it and select and deselect. Select that information which you find is useful and deselect what is not. Unity in your essay, that is very important. And you can create unity by two things. Number one, coherence. Number two, balance. Coherence means your essay should be well connected. One part with the second with the third with like, and so on and so forth. So from your introduction to your conclusion, the essay should be well connected. It should look like, examiners will take a holistic view of your essay. The examiner will not look at your essay in parts. You will look at your essay in as a whole. So that is why coherence and balance, these two things are, well, like your essay should be well knit, it should be well connected, one part with the second, second with the third with the fourth, and there should be logical progression of thought. Don't dwell on conspiracy theories, generate ideas, then organize those ideas in the form of an outline and then follow that outline. This is the best approach. And each point should be emphasized appropriately. Some points, students they emphasize on some points more than the rest of the points, so it should be balanced means all points should be given proper space. Then beginning, the middle, and the end. These three parts are very important. Introduction, you should tell what is the topic. Number two, what do you think about the topic? Number three, what is coming ahead? So proper introduction. And number two, you must keep end in mind. When you are beginning your essay, you should know that where are you going to finish this essay. So from the very beginning, you should know where you're going to end it. And that is how you can develop your body paragraphs. Beginning and end. If that is in your mind, you will develop your body paragraph according to the beginning and the end, and in this way you will not digress. You will not go off topic. You will develop the essay, and the essay will be well knit, a coherent body, which will be logical and convincing to the examiner. Tone should be light. It must have grace in it, and the person should be able to understand what you want to say. Proportion. Paragraphs, transition sentences, like in your essay, proportion, that is very important. Shakespeare defined beauty. Proportion is in fact beauty. Shakespeare defined beauty as beauty is the other name for proportion. So beauty is in fact proportion. Create beauty in your essay by creating proportion in different paragraphs. And when you move from one part of the essay to another, there should be some sort of transition, like linking words, transition words, or if the essay is bigger, you can add transition paragraphs into it. And paragraphs should be fully developed. But first, each paragraph should be based on one idea. And then you should write supporting sentences. Similarly, paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, there should be logical progression. They should be properly organized. And introductory sentences, they are very important. Like each paragraph is based on one idea. So your introductory paragraph sentence, or that's called your focus sentence, or it is the topic sentence, or it's the key sentence. So that is very important when you're going to write it. And similarly, short sentences, connectives, linkers, we call them linkers, connective words. These are very important. When you start a new paragraph, you can use these connectives or linkers, such as if you're writing things in order, you can use firstly, secondly, thirdly, or first, then afterwards. If you're given an example, you can use, for example, for instance, such as if you are giving similar ideas, you can use linkers of addition, such as in addition, besides, similarly, moreover. And similarly, if you are giving a contrasting view, in that case, you can use, on the other hand, however, nonetheless, like these words, but these words can be used. Use of I and you. Never use I and you, except for one, in one case, and that is when you are going to write your personal account, or it is narrative writing. If you're writing a story that happened with you, in that case, in narrations only, you can write I. Otherwise, don't use I. First person pronoun should be avoided. Similarly, I and you should be avoided. Precision in the use of words. Now, diction, that is very important. When you're writing, you should use formal, standard words. Don't use spoken English words, slangs. These things should be avoided. Types of compositions, you should also keep in mind what are different types of composition, like descriptive writing, narrative writing, expositions, similarly descriptions, and then descriptions are of different types, such as physical description, process description, chronological description, spatial description. So these are different types, reflections or reflective writing. So you will have to keep in mind these different types or different styles. They can be very helpful to when you are going to write the essay, if you understand. Object. Object is precision and perspicuity. Number one, what you're going to write, it should be correct, because correctness gives you credibility. And number two is like what you are going to say, it is your job to convey it, to write it in such a way that the person who is reading your essay should be able to understand it exactly the same way as you want it to convey it. He should not construe, he should not understand, he should not interpret some different meanings other than the intended meanings, the meanings that you wanted them to understand. So that is very important. And freedom from affectations and undue elaborations. Don't use, don't try to pretend something which you, in fact, you're not. Similarly, undue elaborations are not needed. Always stay focused on the topic. That is how you can develop your essay. So these were some of the introductory remarks. And now let us go to, let's proceed. First thing is understand, select your topic and understand it. If you don't understand your topic, you will not be able to write a convincing essay on that. The examiner will not be convinced if you don't understand your topic well. Next thing is define your subject. Think, focus, and limit your subject. And define what is the topic. Your introduction will tell the examiner three things. Number one, like what's your take on the topic and what is coming ahead. So these things are very important. Number one, understand and select the topic. Number two, define your subject. Think, focus, and define. Limit your topic. Like what is it and what it is not. What is the topic and what it is not. Because if you don't understand your topic, the examiner will not be able to understand, or your readers will not be able to understand. In this case, your examiner. Gather material, think, brainstorm, use all resources from internet to your teachers, books, and generate ideas. And then organize them. Make an outline. In outline, you will write first the topic, then your thesis, and then you will write body paragraphs. Transition. Like when you move from one chunk or one part of your essay to another, you may use transitions so that the examiner can understand what you're going to say next. And think of an effective introduction, conclusion, and write according to plan. Your introduction and conclusion must be very effective, and that is how you can keep your essay within your control. If the essay goes out of your control, then of course you will miss the main idea and it may go wrong. Write first rough draft, valid points should be valid, then revise and write a second draft and substantiate. Whatever claims you make, you must substantiate them. And write a final draft and avoid misquotations. Now, how will you write? You will write in three stages. Number one, pre-writing stage. Number two, writing stage. Number three, rewriting stage. In pre-writing stage, you will have to generate ideas. Search internet, read newspapers, magazines, books, discuss with your teachers, with your friends. And number one is pre-writing stage. Here, you will think, you will gather material, you will generate ideas, maximum ideas. And here, number two, writing stage. You will have to organize that material which you have collected. And here, you will have to select those points which are relevant to the point and which support the topic and the thesis, and avoid using those points which are not relevant or they don't convey what you want to convey, what you intend to convey. So that is why I don't think that this idea is very important. Actually, no. If it is to the point, you will include it. If it is not to the point, you don't need to include that point. And then you will organize it. Organize means number one, topic. Number two, thesis. Number three, what is coming out. Like these are main points from the body paragraph. So in fact, you are organizing your essay into three parts: introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion. Introduction and conclusion must be same or similar. Same means you will not repeat the words, but the idea will be the same. Such as if you're taking a position in the introduction, then in body paragraphs, you will develop those ideas, and in the end, you will prove that whichever the position you took at the beginning, you have proved it. And rewriting stage, in this stage, you will edit. Number 1, add. Number 2, delete. Number 3, alter or modify. Add. If you think something is missing in paragraph 3 or 4 or 5, you can add, substantiate, add more information, more material. Delete. If you think in this paragraph I have written more than what is needed, so you can delete it. And modify, you can modify means the idea is good, but you need to rephrase or rewrite some of the sentences, so you can write them. Rewriting stage is, in fact, editing. You will have to check for grammatical errors, spellings, punctuation, and once again, you will have to check whether you have included any idea or any paragraph that is not to the point, that is not according to the given topic. So you will still check what you have written and how. What you have written are your ideas. If they are to the point, if they substantiate claims, then it's good. If that's a kind of digression, or if you think if you include these topics, you go off topic or they have no relevance, then you don't need to write them. You can cross them out. Or you can change them, modify them so that they are to the point and they add something to the meaning of overall meaning of the essay. So you can link them. And then grammatical errors, mostly students make subject-verb agreement, spellings, punctuation. So try to read and correct, because most of the students, they know what are some of the common errors that they make. In fact, this is your teacher's job. You should write essays, get them checked, and keep a record, a notebook, or create a folder where you can note your mistakes, and then try to work on those mistakes. You will have to, while checking, keep in mind that the essay is organized, and throughout this essay, you're focused on the topic, it's logical, and you have given research-based facts. There are no conspiracy theories in it, or there are no false accusations, or sometimes, when you start the essay in the beginning, you are quite rational, but after some time, it's kind of emotional. You go on an emotional spree and you forget about the essay and, you start whatever comes to your mind. So it should not be that sort of thing. You should always remain rational, cool, calm, and composed during your essay writing. It should be substantiated. Each claim must be substantiated. It means that you should have enough material evidence to substantiate your point, to prove your point. Free of errors, grammatical, and here, spelling and punctuation, there should be no errors. And one more thing, try to write complex sentences as well. And length of sentences, usually, American universities expect their students to have 29 words per sentence. British university graduates to have 18 words per sentence. So as Pakistani students, we have this problem where students cannot write more than our average is 8 to 9 words per sentence. So you need to work on it. Number 1, average length of your sentence will have to increase. Number 2, simple, compound, complex sentences. These are 3 types. Read them and try to work on them. Try to include every 40 to 50 words. You must have at least 1 complex sentence if you can write more. And according to the outline, your essay should be, first you make an outline, and then your essay should be according to that outline that you have made. And make sure that your outline is to the point. Discuss from multiple angles. But it does not mean that you cannot discuss the essay from multiple angles. It should not be to the point. Does not mean that it should be a lopsided story. To the point means you can discuss the essay from multiple angles, but it should be rational, and each angle should add something to the meaning of the essay, and it should be according to the given topic. It should be relevant. Now, this is how you write. Number 1, you have done planning, then you organize and write your essay, and then you edit. Now, in planning, what will you plan? First thing you will plan, that is your introduction. First thing is introduction. Here, this is 10 to 15% of your essay. That is your introduction. In introduction, basically, simple formula is introduction has 3 questions. It must have 3 questions. Those 3 questions are 3 W's. What is the topic? What is your take on it? And what is coming ahead? What is the topic? What is your take on it, and what is coming ahead? What is the topic? You'll have to write the topic in your own words, then you'll have to write your thesis statement, and then body paragraph. Main points of the body paragraph, you'll have to write them here in like summary form. So that is your introduction. In fact, if you write your essay in this way, your essay introduction becomes essay in miniature. And then you go to body paragraphs. 80% they are your body paragraphs. And body paragraph, you also include transition paragraphs. TP stands for transition paragraph, and TPs for transition paragraphs. Here, each body paragraph, how do you develop your body paragraph? You will develop your body paragraph by, number one, each paragraph is based on one idea. It is based on one main idea. So, it can, like you will have to write first the main idea, and then supporting sentences. It can be 100 words, 150 or 200 words. You can develop paragraph following different approaches. For example, approach number 1 is Nucleus Approach. Here, you can write, nucleus means the central idea. You can write the central idea anywhere in your paragraph. But it must be based on that central idea. As nucleus is the controlling center of a cell, similarly, your central idea will control your whole paragraph. It should be the center, the pivot, the controlling center of your paragraph. So you can follow cell approach, or you can follow pyramid approach. In pyramid approach, you start with a specific idea, then you give examples, evidence, data, and then you generalize it and link it with the main idea and your thesis. Or inverted pyramid approach. In this, you start with a broader statement, then you give examples, evidence, data, and in the end, you make a specific point. You make a specific point, and that is how you develop your body. Number 1, cell approach, pyramid approach, inverted pyramid, or this approach. Number 1, use linker. Like first of all, if you're writing first body paragraph, if you are giving second body paragraph that is similar to first one, you can write moreover, in addition, similarly, or if you're writing a contradictory or contrasting view, then you can use however, on the other hand, on the contrary. So here you will give focus sentence, and here you will write supporting sentences. In supporting sentence 1, first linker or connective word, and then focus sentence or the sentence that contains the key idea. And here you will give supporting sentence. Supporting sentence 1, supporting sentence 2, supporting sentence 3, and so on. And in the end, you will go for revising and linking sentence. So you can follow nucleus, cell approach, pyramid approach, inverted pyramid approach, or RL approach. It is up to you. You can follow any of this, like these approaches. It's up to you, and you can develop it. One thing is common. That is, each body paragraph is based on one main idea. One paragraph, one idea, and this can be 100, 150, or 200 words, depending upon the length of your essay and word limits. Here, then comes conclusion. In conclusion, number 1, if you're writing an issue or an argument, then the conclusion should look like this. Number 1, linker of conclusion. To sum up, to conclude, in conclusion. And after this linker of conclusion, you will have to sum up the whole discussion that you've discussed in this. Then, air of finality, climax, take it to the climax. Like write a very important sentence, such as your thesis sentence was very important. Number 2, your opening sentence, main idea, topic sentence, that is very important. Number 3, this sentence will be very important when you take your essay to the climax. So this will be the most important sentence of your paragraph. Air of finality, what does it mean? It means that if you have a new idea, don't include that in conclusion. Ideas will be discussed in body paragraph. So here, don't. Your conclusion should give this impression that you're going to finish. As your introduction gives the impression that you're going to start, body paragraph gives the impression that you are discussing it, and Here, conclusion must give this impression that now you are going to conclude, you're going to finish. Reinforcement. What is this reinforcement? Here, in the introduction, you have taken a position. That is your thesis statement. So here, you will have to reinforce. You will have to prove that point. So basically, when you write an argument or you're discussing an issue, so you will have to get it. You have taken a position in the beginning. Then at the end, you will have to prove that position and look into the. If there is a problem, you may look into the future. Right? Next step is now. What are the things you will have to keep in mind? You know, the most important thing you'll have to keep in mind that is C, the letter C. C stands for clarity. You must be clear about the topic. If you're not clear about the topic, you will not be able to write a good essay. So you must be clear about it. And here, first thing is, it should be complete. C stands for complete, comprehensive, correct. And if your essay is clear, it means it's credible. It'll be correct and it'll be credible. So clarity leads to correctness, and correctness will give you credibility. So if you are clear, you'll be correct and you'll be credible. That is what you need in writing the essay. It should not be illegible because mostly it's written. And most of the exams around the world are pen and paper based, so you will have to write it clearly. And your handwriting should be legible. The person should be able to understand what you have written. And memorized, it should not be memorized. Some students try to reproduce cramped up material. It should not be cramped up. No, you will have to write an original piece of writing. It should be your own. And that is what we call creativity. So work on it, try to generate ideas and write your own essay. Grammatical range and accuracy. Your syntax is very important. You will have to give, Shakespeare said, variety is the spice of life. Number one, give variety in using different tenses, auxiliary verbs, and show a bit diversity in your usage, English usage. And it should be accurate. It should not be incorrect. Then illegible, it should not be illegible. It should be neat and clean and readable. Memorized, it should not be memorized. Word limit, according to the given instructions in the paper. No digression. Don't go off topic. Similarly, cohesion and coherence. The whole essay should be like a complete whole. And lexical resource, that is very important. In addition to, so how you can do that? You can do it by following the outline. Why? Because if you make a good outline, it will prevent from repetition, and you will study the subject, and you will write main points as Roman 1, 2, 3, sub-points as ABC, and you will arrange and organize them logically. So in this way, there will be no digression. And time management, that is the key. You will have to manage time. You should know what is the time. Number one, planning time, then writing time, and then for editing. Already, like, you should plan your time and then go according to that time management. Synergy. Number two, students, whenever it comes to essay writing, they believe that we cannot write this. You must have synergy. It means I can and I will. So you can and you will. Yes, you can get help from your teachers or somebody who knows the art of essay writing, because it's hard. You need to learn and then you need to practice. If you don't practice, you won't be able to write a good essay. Next thing is positive mental attitude. You must have a positive mental attitude. So for discussion, I would also like to suggest you one program that's on CNN. The name of the program is GPS with Fareed Zakaria. That's a wonderful program. And I like the format of that program because it starts with number one, what is the topic? And then number two, what is the anchor's take on it? And then he starts discussion. So it's a wonderful program. I hope you like that program. Watch it and see how he discusses that. So in this way, you can. Similarly, another series is Boston Legal. And they take an issue, and there are two teams of lawyers, and they then discuss both sides of the case in front of a judge, and then the judge gives the verdict and decision. So you will also find them entertaining. It's very good. But for Zakaria GPS, that's a very good program. You should watch it, and I hope that you will learn the art of discussion, and it's like you will learn a lot from this program as well. So this is what I was going to share with you, and that is essay writing, about essay writing. I will continue more lectures, but I would suggest that you should also read books. For example, good writers like Edison, Steele, Francis Bacon, Montaigne, and there are essays of Elia, Charles Lamb, William Hazlitt. Like, there are many good writers, essay writers especially. You can read their essays and try to be original, try to develop your own style. Don't try to copy somebody. You can also watch good speakers such as Edmund Burke, British parliamentarians, Winston Churchill. And similarly, you will find uh, books on grammar, on vocabulary. On vocabulary, you can read G.R.E. Burgess, that will be very helpful. Or there is a book by Norman Lewis, Word Power Made Easy. It's a very good book. The book has sessions in it. Each session is for 10 minutes. You can work on that session and you will learn more. You'll improve your vocabulary on a daily basis. On grammar, easiest book on grammar is Wren and Martin. Secondary School English by Wren and Martin. That is in India. This book is used for secondary school students. In Pakistan, many schools are using this book, and I think that it's very easy. First, read the chapter, then solve the exercise, and then from the key, there is a key. So check your answers and see what is your score. In addition to this, Practical English by Thompson and Martin, that is a very good book. Michael Swan's book, Practical English Usage. Similarly, Oxford, Remy Murphy's book, that is also, you will find it very useful. And Pakistani writer, Syed Saadat Ali Shah, his book, Exploring the World of English. That's, if you are preparing for comparative exams, that is a wonderful book. Everybody should have that book, and you should gift that book to your friends as well. So thank you very much. This was my first lecture. I hope you like it. Don't forget to give feedback and subscribe to this channel if you like it, and give us suggestions how we can improve this. I have started these lectures amid coronavirus because my students can't reach me. They can come to the school, and so I had to start this. And it is my humble effort to reach you wherever you are. And I need your feedback, your suggestions, so that we can make it, we can improve it, and we can make it better. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe this channel and hit the like button if you like. If you don't like, give us feedback. Or if there's any problem, give us feedback. Have a nice day and stay safe. Take care of yourself and your family. Goodbye.